Hey, chosen one. This message didn't find you by accident. You didn't scroll to this just because. Heaven led you here for a reason. You may not fully understand why, not yet, but deep down, your spirit does. Something sacred is unfolding in your life right now, and whether you feel it or not, you're being called into alignment. But here's the truth. This move, the one that changes everything, won't be loud, it won't be public, it won't be posted, shared, or celebrated by the crowd. It is for you only. It will require stillness. It will require quiet obedience. The kind of obedience that doesn't beg for understanding, that doesn't wait for applause. Because this isn't public opinion. This is private revelation. It's a divine instruction, a sacred blueprint sent directly to your soul. And if you're here, it's because you're ready. Not ready for information, but transformation. So pause, breathe, and listen not just with your ears, but with your spirit. This message is a key, a door, a signal from the Most High. And if your spirit recognizes the weight of this moment, type 77 in the comments. That number isn't random, it's prophetic. It's the signal between you and the throne that you're ready. Ready to obey, ready to move in silence, ready to step into your next instruction, even if no one else understands it. Now, not everyone will finish this video, because not everyone is called to this level. But you are. That's why heaven delivered this. This isn't a one-time word, it's a living instruction. Return to it every time you need realignment, because each time, a deeper layer will unfold. Now that your spirit is open, let's begin. What if I told you the voice you've been listening to all your life isn't you? What if your constant thinking, your internal commentary, your fears and doubts and endless loops weren't actually coming from your soul, but from the echo of the world? And what if the real you has been listening all along? So I ask you, if you are the one who hears the thoughts, then who is speaking? You wake up and the voice begins. Get up. You're late. You didn't do enough yesterday. Why did you say that? Don't mess this up again. It never stops. It judges. It compares. It plans your future and shames your past. It tells you who to be and then mocks you when you fall short. But here's the secret that breaks the spell. You are not that voice. You are the awareness that hears it, the silent space behind the noise, the witness, not the narration. You've mistaken your thoughts for your identity. You've believed every fearful whisper, every story born from pain. That voice is not your enemy, but it is not your master either. It was built by survival, programmed by the world, conditioned by trauma, culture, family, fear. But God does not speak in fear. God does not rush, does not shame, does not speak over your soul with noise. The divine voice whispers, softly, gently, lovingly, so quietly that you'll miss it unless you're completely still. Close your eyes, just for a moment. Let the outer world dissolve. Take a breath. And now take one more. But this time, listen, not to your thoughts, but to the silence between them. That space, that stillness, that is where God speaks, not in noise, not in logic, but in stillness, in surrender, in now. Feel the weight on your shoulders, and now, let it fall. You don't have to carry every thought that comes. You don't have to believe everything you feel. You are not here to control the mind. You are here to remember you are more than it. Some of you wonder, where did God go? Why can't I feel Him anymore? But my dear soul, God never left. He never turned away. He never stopped speaking. You were simply tuned into a louder station. Your attention was stolen by the noise of this world. Social media, expectations, wounds, memories, timelines, and in the process, you lost the signal of the sacred. But even when you weren't listening, he was still speaking. Even when you doubted, he remained faithful. Even when you cried alone, he was beside you, weeping with you. And now that you are becoming still, you can hear again. Stillness is not passive. It's a sacred discipline, a rebellion against chaos, a sanctuary you build brick by brick through presence, patience, and obedience. Obedience, not to religion, but to your inner truth, to that quiet voice that leads you toward life, not fear, toward peace, not pressure, toward freedom, not performance. When you learn to obey that voice, not the shouting of the world, but the whisper of the divine, then your life begins to reorder. Not because you control it, but because the Master takes over your affairs. And when he takes over, you no longer fail, because you no longer act from ego, but from eternal intelligence. There are two voices inside you. One is the voice of fear, of scarcity, of performance and proving. It shouts. The other is the voice of truth, of divine presence, of quiet knowing. It whispers, and you must choose, every day, which one you will follow. You can follow the noise and stay in loops of exhaustion, self-doubt, confusion. Or you can follow the whisper and walk the slow, sacred path of clarity, grace, and alignment. The world profits from your noise, your constant scrolling, your addiction to the next hit of dopamine. It tells you who to be, what to buy, how to feel. And if you're not careful, you will become nothing more than an echo of it all. But your soul didn't come here to echo. It came to remember, to awaken, to return. And the only way back is to listen, not out there, but within. There comes a moment when you are no longer just hearing God, but God begins to speak through you, and your voice carries peace. Your presence softens rooms. Your eyes become doorways to something deeper. Because now, you're not just a person. You're a vessel, an instrument, a living echo of divine stillness. This is not imagination. This is spiritual maturity. This is what happens when you stop listening to noise and begin living from presence. So now I ask you, beloved soul, will you keep listening to the noise that has never known your heart? Or will you return to the voice that never left you? Will you choose fear's illusion or presence's truth? Will you chase or become? Take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart and say silently, I am not my thoughts. I am not my fears. I am the witness. I am the stillness. I am the vessel. And I am now listening. So remember, you are not here by accident. And this message wasn't just a video. It was heaven's whisper. It's a divine light. It will stay with you. It will come back to you when you wake at 3 a.m. It will rise in your chest before every major decision. Because this message is alive. And your obedience will unlock everything. If you feel that, if something sacred stirred in you today, then share this with someone who needs to remember. You're not crazy, you're not lost, you're just awakening. And the voice of God, the one that was always here, is finally being heard. You have never been alone. He never departed. You were simply too loud to hear him. But now you are still, and he is here. Type 77. If you're ready to obey, to move in silence, and to trust your divine instructions. Until next time, stay still, stay faithful, stay chosen. Amen. And so it is.